Last Halloween, my boyfriend and I went to pick up my 9-year-old son, Matthew, from a kid's Halloween party 3 blocks down. As we drove by the neighborhood, we saw people dressed in Halloween costumes, celebrating with their family and friends. Kids were all going home with their parents. I was feeling worried for my son as the streets started to empty minute after minute. We were just 1 block away when 3 boys on a speeding motorcycle passed our car, yelling and behaving like cavemen on a hunt.
God, how old are they?
15, probably? 16?
Do you think they're high?
Those were teenagers, Robbie, and this is Halloween. Where were you on your 16th Halloween?
Not wandering around like mad dogs, that's for sure.
I find that hardly believable.
What, woman? You know I don't lie.
Yeah, not to me. Robbie started tickling me while driving, and I burst out into laughter. The 3 boys were driving in front of us. Stop it! Keep your eyes on the road! Robbie honked the horn, but the boys didn't move. Instead, I heard one of them yell.
Shut up!
Robbie honked the horn again and yelled back.
Move out of the way, morons!
And the boys slowed down. They arrived just right beside us and all stared at us at the same time. All 3 boys had no fear in their eyes, just creepy smiles.
What? What the hell are you staring at?
The boys slowed down and we drove away. I could see from the rearview mirror that they made us stop and watched us leave. A gut-wrenching feeling of dread gave me a shiver. I don't know why, but I got angry at Robbie for messing with those kids. Why do you do these things? You think you're still 19?
Those kids probably have the worst parents in the world. Take my word for it.
After driving for another 5 minutes, we reached the party. All the kids were gone by then. I called Mrs. Kensky. Hi, Mrs. Kensky. Please get Matthew. We're waiting outside. You know, I'm so glad that Matthew's making friends. I was always worried about his shy nature. And now that... Robbie, are you even listening to me?
I think those boys are following us.
What? Where?
Look behind us.
I slowly turned my head at the back of the car and saw those 3 boys sitting on their bike coming at us. Right before passing our car, one of them threw an egg at our windshield, screaming obscenities.
Suck eggs! Whoa! I'm gonna teach him a lesson.
Matthew got into the car, waving his friends goodbye, and I heard Robbie starting the car engine. I could tell he was angry at those boys. I tried to stop him. Let it go, Robbie. Let's just go home, okay?
I ain't no coward. That too from 3 puberty-stricken monkeys.
But Robbie never listened to me. He was a good man and always said, in order to be happy, you must take care of others' happiness too. I wish that night he didn't follow those boys. I wish that night we never met them. After driving for 5 minutes straight, we caught up to them. Robbie peeked his head from the window and yelled,
You freaks, don't your parents taught you how to behave?
Once they saw us, they increased their speed. Robbie followed them too. Enough now, Robbie! Just drive home, okay? Robbie caught up to them again, and as we came side by side, one of the boys screamed at me.
Who's that, old man? Your Virgin Mary? Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb. Throw more eggs at him.
And that's when the shower of eggs began. The boys started throwing eggs at us like bullets.
Ah! What the hell? Stop!
Robbie! But they didn't stop until they bathed us in eggs. Our windshield was dripping of yolks, and after a point, we couldn't drive anymore. So we had to stop. Just when we stopped, those boys stopped too. Robbie got down from the car, and so did I. I stood near the car while Bobby walked towards those boys. The boys were unexpectedly brave. Even after pulling all that sick behavior, they never ran away. They just stood there as if they feared no one. Robbie started screaming at them.
What the hell is wrong with you people? Is that how you talk to the women at your house? And what the heck did you just do to my car? Well, don't you have enough money, old man? Didn't Mary's father pay you enough to marry her? You're so funny, Ryan. Shut up, dumbass. You guys are sick. Do you even know that, Ryan? So, what are you gonna do? Arrest us? Hey! Don't you dare me, okay? Don't you ever dare me. Just go home and get yourself checked. Bloody psychos.
Saying this, Robbie turned around to come back to the car. He didn't see the gun one of those boys took out from his pocket. I could feel my blood rush to my veins. I screamed, "Oh my God, Robbie!"
What?
Robbie looked back at those boys, and as he saw the gun, his face turned pale. He raised his hands and said in a shaking voice,
Dude, you don't need to do this. Listen to me. Just go home, okay? Just...
On Halloween 1998, Carl Jackson was picking up his girlfriend's 9-year-old son from a party when some teenagers began egging their car and shouting rude comments about his girlfriend's costume. Jackson then jumped out of the car and confronted the delinquents. After a short argument, Jackson returned to the vehicle. As Jackson and his girlfriend began driving away with their 9-year-old son in the back, one of the pranksters, 17-year-old Curtis Sterling, withdrew a gun and fired a single shot into the rear window of the car. Carl Jackson was struck in the head and pronounced dead a short time later.
Celebrate.
This happened when I was 21 years old, working in a magazine office. We had a work Halloween night, but everyone at the office planned for an after-work party in a club. I carried my Halloween costume, which was Wonder Woman, in my bag. Once we all got off work, we dressed up for Halloween. At the clubs, there was the usual sea of people. Most were in costumes. Most of the girls wore skimpy and revealing costumes, while the guys were superheroes, video game characters, zombies, and evil clowns. Honestly, there were very few scary costumes, but one guy did stick out in particular. He managed to be super creepy without even trying. He stood off by himself on the balcony of the club, staring down at everyone partying on the dance floor. He wasn't really wearing a costume. He was in jeans and a brown pullover, but he had a mask on his face. The mask was that of an old woman's face. It literally looked like a face that had been freshly skinned or ripped off of somebody. It was bloody and even a little soggy. Damn, that mask looked almost real. I never actually saw the man's face, as he never took the mask off. He drank using a straw through the mouth hole in the mask. The area around the mask, including a thick black beard he had underneath, was glistening with fake blood. The whole effect was so creepy and bizarre. I ignored him and went to the bar for another round of drinks.
May I buy you a drink?
A creepy, cold voice gave me jitters. I looked beside me and saw the man standing near me. I felt uncomfortable when he approached me. I smiled and said, "No thanks, I can buy my own drinks." Did I say something funny?
You know, I think you're pretty, but I don't like your attitude.
Then get the hell out of here. His glowing eyes watched me silently from behind the mask for a few seconds. Then he walked away. Crazy weirdo. We stayed in the club for an hour more, and every time my eyes landed on that man, I saw him approaching another woman at the club. Everyone rejected him because he seemed like trouble. I was happy seeing him getting ignored like that. He was walking to the exit of the club when he saw this nerdy teenage girl dressed like Thelma from Scooby-Doo standing alone. I saw them talking. Then the man grabbed her hand and brought her to the dance floor. They started dancing, and the girl seemed happy around him. I heard the guy tell the girl the exact same line he said to me.
I think you're pretty. Can I buy you a drink?
Thanks. Sure.
How about we got the bar and talk? Women here were really mean to me. You're the only one who has been nice tonight.
Okay, let's go. The girl nodded yes, and they went towards the bar. A few minutes later, I didn't see the guy or the girl in the club. I thought they may have left, but it still bothered me how the girl decided to spend time with a guy like that. 2 days later, I was watching the local news. On the TV, the news anchor was reporting. There was a picture of a young woman on the screen.
Police say the young woman was last seen leaving home Tuesday, October 30th at the local club around 10:30 p.m. while partying with her friends. A few hours later, when her friends decided to head home, they could not find the girl anywhere in the club. They called her parents to know if she had already left, but when the parents said their daughter hasn't been home yet, the friends got worried. They went straight to the cops to file her missing person report. The security camera of the club has managed to capture the footage of Elena leaving with a man dressed in a creepy Halloween mask. Once the cops scanned the footage well, they got chills. The mask the man was wearing matched another girl named Brittany, who went missing a week before Halloween. The man is likely to be the abductor and the murderer of Brittany, as cops suspect the mask he was wearing indeed belonged to Brittany's face. Since no one has seen the man's original face, it's getting difficult to trace him. But the cops have...
Holy smokes! The guy's crazy! I called the police and was put through to a tip line that had been set up for tips about Elena and Brittany's missing cases. I told the person on the line about the guy at the club. To my relief, the person informed me that they were getting lots of calls, all stating the same thing. So many calls from people who had seen this guy with the mask that the police were acting on it. The search for this man was on. This incident would have been enough on its own to scare me for life. The fact that I had conversed with this killer who said I was pretty, and now I know why, terrorized me the entire night. It was enough to cause some severe anxiety. But then the next morning, when I went to my car to drive to work, I found a note stuck to my windshield. It was a little soggy, as it had been raining the last couple of days. I picked it up, thinking it was from one of the neighbors. I opened it and read it. It made my stomach drop. The note read simply,
"You're pretty."
FYI, the man was never caught.
Jason has home serve cover to keep his home working, and claims lines he can call 24/7.
Yes, Mom, we just arrived. Ruthie's cooking your favorite. Noah's playing outside with Billy. He's having a blast, I guess. Yes, Mom. The dinner will be ready before you arrive. See you soon. Noah, Billy, stop destroying the Halloween decor.
Don't worry, Auntie. Mom said we can smash these pumpkins.
Ugh, kids.
I can never get bored of doing this. Who's that? Oh, him? That's Paul. He takes care of our house. Mom says he's like Superman. There's nothing he can't do. Where's he going with that pumpkin head? To the old cemetery in the jungle. What? Why? To put a new scarecrow. Why do you need a scarecrow in a cemetery? So the dead don't dare to wake up and come here to torture us! What rubbish. Come on, let's go with him. Good morning, Paul. This is my cousin Noah. He came to our farmhouse for the first time. I see. Hello, Paul. So you're gonna put a new scarecrow, huh? Yes, it's time. Why do you put a scarecrow in a graveyard? Because that's how we honor them. After all, they've done so much for us. What the hell is he saying? He's being funny. Cheer up. Paul means no harm. Look, Paul already made the body. All he needs is to put the pumpkin head on. You kids stay here. Man, your gardener creeps me out. Where did you find him? From a freak show? Come on, Paul is a nice guy and very hardworking. He does all the chores and he cooks the best ham in the world. Once you taste that, you'll too start to like him. Our Halloween dinner is to die for. Come on, let's go. The sun's gone down. Mom says not to stay at the graveyard after dark. Why? I thought you're scared of little girls only. Shut up, jackass. Are you comfortable here? Your smile says you are. Now listen, don't scare the kids tonight, okay? Good girl. I never thought she could be so feisty. Well, it's Halloween, Chad. Everyone gets crazy this time.
Is he saying something about me?
Nothing bad, though. We are really lucky to have your sisters as our wives. Never thought we'll find someone to put up with our craziness.
Look at these old school buddies making us all blush, Lena. Yeah, I don't think I'll need to eat butter for days now. A woman has gone missing from the highway. The cops have only found her car and belongings. Looking at the undamaged car, they suspect a possible case of kidnapping. That must be Mom. Ralph, please help Mom with the luggage. She's here. Noah, Billy, Nana's here. Come here and say hi to her.
Happy Halloween, Nana!
Oh, my sugar plums. How you liking your aunt's farmhouse, Noah?
Nana, Noah's scared of the scarecrow in the graveyard.
Oh, poor baby. That's just our tradition. Don't you worry about it, okay? Ah, here comes the ham, everyone. Try it, Noah. Paul makes the best ham.
And he only makes it on Halloween.
Eat as much as you like, okay?
Happy Halloween, everyone! Cheers!
Billy? Billy! What is it, dude? I need to pee. Can you go with me to the washroom? Come on, dude. You're 11.
Paul, bring the rest of her into the kitchen. And please be quiet. Don't want to wake up the kids. They're too young to know the truth. Put it on the table. Here. Glad he tied her up in the tool shed. If Noah saw this, he will never understand our tradition. Come on, Lena. Don't be so worried. You saw how the kids enjoyed her meat, right? Trust me, once they get addicted to the taste, they will have no other choice than to be like us.
Should I slice the rest of her in big pieces?
No, cut her in average pieces so it's easy to store the meat in the freezer. It's awful that we only get to have human meat in October. Ruthie, don't be so greedy. With the cops running around with her missing case, we need to be careful, okay? Yeah, that's why Chad and Ralph didn't go fishing today. You know how they like to catch fish with human fingers? They say it's the best bait for the big fish. Where did you keep the head anyway, Paul?
I got rid of her skin and flesh and put the skull inside the scarecrow.
Well, I hope it doesn't attract flies.
I'll spray disinfectant every morning. Don't you worry.
Aw, thank you, Paul. You're the sweetest. What would we do without you?
Happy Halloween!
That means we're